Okay, so first off, to create a new campaign, we're going to want to go new in the bottom left of Campaign 365. Once you click new, you'll be presented with 5 options: marketing, reminder, VHC reminder, an other campaign manual, and an other campaign recurring. So the campaign type that you're going to want to select obviously depends on what it is you're trying to achieve. A marketing campaign will act as a one-time send, which then has a offer period following on from that. A good example would be a winter check. You may send that out at the start of September, and everyone is contacted at that point. However, they may have until the end of January, mid-February to come in and claim that offer. So your send day would be today and would then have an offer period that spans over the winter. A reminder is something that's going to look to send more frequently and not send to everybody at once. It will send to each person when they're due. For example, an MOT reminder, we would look to have that send every single day. And for example, if you sent them out 28 days before their MOT was due, every day that's going to look and say, right, who's due 28 days from now, who's due 28 days from now, and so on and so forth. Same with a VHC reminder in that it looks to send out every single day. If you set it to do that, obviously most people do, and it will then look to see, right, who's due to be reminded today, who's due to be reminded today, and so on. With the other campaigns, they work the same as marketing and reminder. So manual works the same as marketing, it just has a one-time send. Recurring works in the same way as reminders in that it looks to send out using a date-driven field. The difference between them, though, and actually using marketing and reminders is that you're not going to want to track any stats from an other campaign. So good examples for them would be a manual, could be something like a winter newsletter. It could be something like a COVID-19 announcement as well, something you just want to make your customers aware of. A recurring, however, would be something like a thank you. So it's something you're going to want to send to people who've only just been in. So there's your date field, your invoice date, the diary date, anything with when the customer's been in. And it's then going to want to look and send, thank you for coming in, anything we can improve on. But you're not necessarily going to track anything off that because they're not going to go and book in off the back of it. Okay, so that's how you can choose what campaign type you're going to use. So next up, you're going to want to give your campaign a code and a description. Basically just tell us what you'd like to call the campaign. You can then choose where the campaign should be run, so you can filter by department, by site, and by franchise. Once you've selected them, you can go next. Once you've gone next, it's going to ask you for frequency, so how often the campaign should run. Now, it'll automatically set it to every single day. There's not many instances you're going to want to run a reminder campaign that doesn't run every single day. The reason being is because Campaign 365 makes it easy for you by sending out your emails and your texts automatically every day. So there's not much legwork for you to do. You then want to choose a time for it to send out. Most people seem to send these out sort of around 10:30, 11 in the morning, when the customer might be on their mid-morning break and taking a look at their emails on their phone. So usually will pop up then. Another popular time we see used is 6 p.m, sort of just after the working day. However, obviously you're free to choose any time in there that you wish. So once you've done that, you're going to want to select who should be targeted by the campaign. Now, on a reminder campaign, you'll get a reminder filter at the top, and you'll then get other filters in the box below. The reminder filter needs to be the date-driven field that you're going to run this campaign on. So in this instance, I'm going to use the MOT due date, and I'm going to set it so that it's in 28 days time. I can also add any other filters I wish. They don't need to be filled in. Only the reminder filter needs to be done. But things on other filters that I could add would be stuff like the customer type does not contain the word trade. And that way it automatically will filter out any trade customers for me. Okay, and you can stack as many other filters on there as you wish. Down at the bottom, there's a couple of options where you can include internal accounts if you'd like to remind yourself on stock vehicles. And you can also hit preview to see who's going to be targeted on that day if you're unsure if you've set your conditions right. From there, you're going to go into the contact methods and you can choose how recipients should be contacted. So by email, by text, or by post, or by all three. Now, to contact by email, as you see, you tick the email button and hit the spanner, and it will take you into our online email editor. Now, we have a template library on here which are available to use and alter your templates from the ones that we've already created. You do also have the ability to just create a new template from scratch though. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to scroll through our template library and I'm going to select the example MOT reminder that we have used. Simply click on that and go create new copy. That there will now allow you to edit our template to suit your dealership. Starting off over on the left hand side, you have a bunch of blocks. You can drag and drop these into the template as you see fit to customize the template to your needs. You can add blocks with images and you can add blocks with text and buttons. You can see on the existing template we've got, you can change the image to your dealership and you can also overwrite any text that you need. What you can also do is you can add or delete merge fields. So as you can see here, this says your make model is due for its MOT test. Some people like to remove model off here. When you do a DVLA lookup, the model can pull through quite long, showing, like, let's say for a Focus, for example, it could show Focus, ST line, and any other bits on the end there. So some people like to remove that out and keep it nice and simple and just say your make. If you want to add anything else in there, you can go merge and select the table and say, as you see here, I'm going to add model back in. And that's how you can add a specific field from the database. You can also add or delete the image to anything that suits your dealership. And as you can see below, all the text there can simply be edited as you would in any word editor. You can add or delete merge fields as seen on screen. Now, if I just delete the title, and what I will do is I will re-add the title and just show you how you do it with merge fields. So as you can see, highlight, delete. So dear, merge, customer records, and then go down to title. Make sure you put your space in and then go back onto merge, customer records, and surname or company. When you clicked onto a block, you'll notice on the left-hand side, it's took you into the content tab. From there, you can hyperlink any of the images within that block. You can also hyperlink any of the buttons in that block. So you see there, book your MOT online can also be hyperlinked. If you don't want to use any of the things in that block and you'd rather have them hidden, there is the ability to hide up there at the top. So you can see that I've just hid that button like so. And then brought it back. Okay, so you can see that the template is very customizable. From there, if we wanted to change any colors or any fonts, simply flick into the style tab and you've got all your fonts and colors there that can be changed like so. Once you've set everything on the campaign, you're going to want to set a subject. Now, as you'll see, merge fields are available here as well. So I could go and pull something such as the registration. So the customer will see their reg straight away and then put your your MOT is due for its test. Once you think you're finished, you can preview or send a test email of the campaign to yourself just so you can look it over. But if you're happy with everything, simply just hit save and use up in the top right. And it'll ask you for a template name. And once you hit save, it will bring you back to Campaign 365 and you can then select your next contact method. So the next contact method we're going to select is SMS. Again, tick the box and then click the spanner and it will take you into the SMS editor. Now this one's a bit more simple. Obviously it's just a text, so you can simply type in the text that you wish to send to the customer. As you can see, still using my merge fields to make it more specific to that customer. So dear, title, make sure you put your space in and then go back onto your merge fields and put in surname, company. I'm then going to say, so your vehicle. Actually, this is where we could use, again, another merge field, get rid of the vehicle and put something like make. So it'd come up saying your make is due for its service. MOT is due for its MOT on. And then we can go again, merge field, vehicle records, MOT due date. Okay, so for myself, that will read, dear Mr. Gale, your Ford is due its MOT test on, and then it'll actually show my date. You can then put, please call to arrange a booking, or you could say, please visit our website if you offer that as well. Then simply just save the template and give it a name, so MOT reminder, and then close out. And you can then move on to your next contact method. Okay, so the next contact method is going to be by post. Simply tick again and then hit the spanner and it will take you into our letter editor. Okay, now you can see I'm just giving myself some space at the top, assuming that you're going to print onto pre-printed paper. If you're not, you can always just copy and paste the header that you'd wish to print out in that blank space that I'm leaving on the top. You can then see that I'm going in and I'm adding merge fields. So I'm first adding the customer's address block. I then can come in and that would fill in stuff like street, postcode, county, stuff like that would all appear in the address block. I'm then going to come down and I'm going to put the date in. You can see you can put it in multiple different formats. And then down below, simply just type as you have on any of the other templates. So you again use your merge fields. So dear, title, space, dear, so surname, company, add all them on, and then just go in and type in the main body of your text. And again, wherever you can, add in the merge fields if possible. So where we get your vehicle, we could again put in your make, just makes it a little more sort of personalized. And then just keep writing as you would, and then sign off the letter once you've finished. So once you've done the template, just tick the green tick up in the top left and then give your template a name. So the next thing to decide, below where the contact methods are, you will see that there's a contact preference. Now the system will default to work in the order of email as the first priority, then SMS, and finally post. Now you can see there you can rearrange that yourself if you wish to work in a different order. The reason this is the default order though is because usually that's the most cost-effective order of contacting your customers. You'll see it does also give you the option to just send for all available. That would be, so if I was due a service and you had my email, you had my mobile number and you had my postcode and you had permission to send me reminders by all them contact methods, it would send me them all at once. And obviously that can be used, just be aware that is a very costly method of sending out your reminders. Below there, it will then show the contact options. You then want to choose who the email is going to come from, who the SMS is going to come from, which you can see is preset, but it can be changed on the fly here. And then also the printer that the letters are going to come out if you're going to go with letters. Once you've done that, just hit next and it will take you into our contact options. Okay, so when you're in contact options, the first thing you'll see is if the correspondence fails to send, retry for, and then a set amount of days. You want to set this for however many days, if the campaign was unable to send out for, how far back should it look when it is finally able to send again. Now, a good example of this would be if with the lockdowns that have been going on due to the coronavirus, if your server was shut off maybe for 2 weeks and we weren't able to send anything out, when your server then goes back online, how far back should we look to resend? It'll always default to 14. You can change that as needed. You'll then see below we've got follow-ups. So if you wish to enable follow-ups with this campaign, you basically just tick enable follow-ups and say how many days before the reminder date should they go into the follow-ups. And we can then go into a follow-ups module, which you'll see in a different video, and contact the customer from there. There's also a tick box to not send the reminder if the vehicle already has a diary booking or a in-progress job sheet. This won't know what the diary booking or job sheet is actually for though. So if the customer is due a service or an MOT and you've got them in the diary or a job sheet for something else, C365 won't know that. So you've just got to be cautious when ticking that. If you want to err on the side of caution, leave it unticked. If you're fairly happy that your service team, when someone's got their MOT or service due, that when they book in, you pick up on that and will book them in for that, then feel free to tick it. The next one is the campaign safety related. Really only tick this for recalls. It will override any contact preferences that the customer may have and will contact them anyway. And then finally, you've got which contact preference category should it be run from. So this just specifies whether the campaign falls under reminders, marketing, third-party contact, or manufacturer. From there, you can go into setting up your group reminders. If one already exists, just select it from the drop-down. If not, you can click the spanner to go create them. Now go see the separate video on how to create the groups. Then hit next. You'll then be presented with summary, which will just show sort of everything that you've selected while setting the campaign up. and you can then go next and choose whether you want to schedule your campaign or not. So you've got 3 options: activate now, activate on a set date, or don't activate or schedule. Okay, and that's your reminder campaign set up.